All right, good morning, team. Morning, everyone. Trying to catch up here. Some of you in chat would have already seen there's some issues going on with a lot of websites this morning. All right, Cloudflare issue. So some of you will have troubles logging into some of the prop firms and maybe some other spaces as well, or did not mean to do that. Let's where have we gone? There we go. All right, so just be careful this morning. I don't think there's a problem with Tradeify, but I'm just warning you now. Is it never a nice thing to wake up to all these issues? Okay, let's start on the daily. And you can see on the daily, possible breakout here. So this set yesterday's range. This was set in Globex. This was set at the lows. We're into this huge sort of cluster that I talked about in the weekly newsletter. All right, you have to be aware of this cluster. Remember, this is your yearly profile. We get thick in here and then we thin right out. They are trying desperately to hold on to this cluster. Guess what that cluster is? 700s. All right, who remembers the rotation? 7 to 25k. All right, it's very possible that we do that same kind of rotation. We basically have done that overnight. If you think about, we dipped below, washed out previous week's low. All right, so we took these stops, turned back inside, came back up to 25,000, turned back down, came back down to 700. That's what we've seen. So that's what we're seeing. The same thing that we saw here for days and days and weeks and end. So we have to be aware of that rotation. It likes rotating there. We are also near the low Bollinger Band. This is currently pointing upwards. In a few days or so, we're going to start to see this. So location, not ideal for a short down here, because we know the market does not on a regular basis like trading outside the extremes of these two standard deviations. However, we do have black swan events. They do happen. Okay, so if for some reason we start losing these 700s and this market goes into a bit of a panic and cannot find a bid, all right, if that happens, then we can think about expansion down here. But our location for a new money short there, unfortunately, is not good. Like if you were short, swing short any of these, or you're long SQQs, then you're having a lot of fun right now. But for day trading, it's a little bit harder to think about getting short down here. So we need to be careful of the location, right? We have to be careful. Okay, let's move into this, into the hourlies. Make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. There we go. Okay, so hourlies, you can see yesterday, like we talked about, once we started letting go, those in Discord will know, took the continuations, right? Once yesterday built out all this liquidity, look how long it took to build it out. Lots and lots of time to build it out. But once lunchtime let go and they failed to complete that rotation, it was a short all day long, okay? And we've continued that overnight so far. So far, what we're seeing here is lower lows and lower highs. Now, it's very possible, all right, that we've got one of these going on and this can build liquidity to break down, all right? It absolutely can do that, because on the higher time frame, this is exactly, if we just zoom out, what we're doing. It's fractal. All right, think about this. Push, head and shoulder, break down, this push, head and shoulder, break down, this, right? This is this pattern inside of it. So it's very, very possible. All right, it's very, very, very possible, because you're starting to see weakness in the markets. But again, our location is not ideal here, and we have swept previous week lows, which is a big low to take out. But we need to be aware of that. If this market is going to find a rally this morning, but remember, in bear markets, you get short squeezes and they can be violent. You would have seen on Friday and the week before. So if they're going to start breaking out of this, right, bulls will attempt to reclaim previous day value area high. That and previous day low for me are going to be huge levels today. How we act into previous day value area low and previous day low, right? We're currently trading at sort of previous day low. If we reclaim that, and they want to get a little short squeeze on, then how we act here is going to be important. Can we reject this kind of area for that trade back downside? Now, if we have a look at the volume profile built in yesterday, after, well, we're just going to have to do it from 9 o'clock, because we're on an hourly chart. All right, we've got a bit of a move here, 950s up to 25,015. So that kind of level we're going to have to be careful of. All right, so watching to see if they do that this morning. So potentially there's a squeeze out to there. I'm going to focus on the shorts. Right, I want to see if we come into here, do we fail for that rotation? If we reclaim, all right, this is going to be like yesterday. If shorts get a squeeze up here and they build and reclaim previous day value area low, then that rotation back upside is very, very possible all the way back to previous day value area high, previous day point of control. Can't rule that out on a squeeze back up. Okay, so that would be your rotation. If you're someone that's looking to play rotation, that will be it if they do that. What else can we think about? Well, breakout of the low and fail breakout of the low. I don't really want to be looking for a new short down here. It might well play out, but the danger is you've got that lower Bollinger Band here, and you can have a look below, fail, reclaim, and upside we go. So if you're looking for a long trigger, you'd want to see a look below and a fail and a reclaim, ideally a previous day low, and ideally up here, really. That's where it's a safer bet. So location is really less than ideal. If we zoom in here, this is our overnight kind of rotation. You can see we've built out lots of volume here. All right, lots and lots of volume built out here. We have to note this, hanging out here a long time. All right, that is a bit of a shelf. All right, so I'd be watching this kind of level at the open, under, over. Do we get over it and base above it for a squeeze up? Do we fail under it, retest it, stay heavy for a wash of those lows? Overall, we are bearish. There is absolutely no doubt about it. Like I said, I think the edge has been with bears. The newsletter quite clearly states the edge is with bears. These are lower lows and lower highs, but we can get rallies which are resold into. So if we get too many shorts at the low and they don't break down, that's when they get stuck. And that's what you have to be aware of in these markets, especially when we're opening up near lows, just to make it extra hard for us when they do that. Right, moving up the time frames. Okay, you can see we're trading right now at overnight POC and at previous day lows. These are the interesting levels for now. Let's move up to a 5 minute. Let's look at the ETFs. All right, ES, very much the same thing. This is your level above that we've been rejecting. But the more important thing for me right now is the ETFs. Okay, SPY. You can see I've got an alert here, right? 660 is a big put wall. All right, it was 672, right? 672, 670. They've now had to put a new wall down here because we've drifted so far down. This is a big level down into this, all right? This is a huge options level. Be aware of it, okay? Be aware of it because we're into OPEX as well this week, so be aware of that. If you start letting go of that, then maybe there is a deeper move possible. Clean out some of these stops. 57s and 52s or 53s I'll be looking for if we go mega heavy today. Qs also has a wall at 660. All right, and you can see it's finding a bid in front of it or around it for now, or at least it's trying to. This is where we sort of washed under, failed breakdown, reclaimed last Friday, and absolutely ripped. This is the level, 660, a put wall. Just be aware of that, folks. That's all I'm saying. Just be aware of it. Quick look at the Dicty because I haven't looked in a little bit. Yeah, starting to look bullish for that move back up, upside to 100s for me. VIX, very dangerous, all right? Very dangerous. We talked about this. Your volatility is high, okay? This is not what you want to see. Everyone's saying that the bottom's in, blah, 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 blah. I've seen so many retail traders talking about this. Shut the fuck up if you don't know what you're talking about. This is a very dangerous move, okay? This is sustained bullish control. There's the breakout, there's the pullback, there's the hold. This is frighteningly dangerous right now, folks. We have elevated levels on the VIX for a sustained period of time, and we're putting in higher highs and higher lows, and we've got a clear level up here that's going to break out or look for if it can sustain this bid through this supply zone. So I am very cautious right now. The volatility is high. Do not be surprised to see 100-point candle moves, and I'm not joking. I'm very serious. Right, so if we break through here, next job is a spike like this up into here. You know when this happened, this is your April low. All right, so think about what we did before April. Big spike up into this level, pull back, hold. Big spike up into this level, pull back, hold. If we start breaking out of there, this is what happened in April in the tariff news. So just be aware of that. I'm not saying be uber bearish, but it's not a swing long time right now. Everyone calling for dips on this swing long. You're not seeing levels hold on the spiders which are of notable interest yet, you're seeing them start to fail. All right, we're letting go of 50-day, etc., etc. All right, Apple. News here yesterday, Tim Cook might be leaving, internal meetings on that. More news this morning of another board member who designed the new iPhone might be leaving as well, or the iPhone Air. So it's still holding up really, really well. It's very, very impressive that Apple is looking pretty good, but pulling back off the top side. Here's your bottom side of the range. Under 65s, you see a bit more weakness, but so far, relative strength in this market. Where it's weak is the chip names. Okay, Amazon gapping down again underneath previous day low. That is heavy. There's no doubt about it. That is absolutely heavy. Are we coming into a level of interest anywhere? Yes. Okay, into its next level here. So I'd say 25s down to teens is what you're looking for. Can it find a bid down there? But this has been heavy and gapping down. Goog gapping up again. All right, so we gapped up, sold off yesterday, closed the gap, trying to gap up again. Remember, this is all on Berkshire and Hathaway buying it. That's just retail flying in, trying to copy Warren. Meta, well, like I said, I didn't think that was done bleeding, and it's not. That is a nasty gap down, and we're seeing mega weakness in that name. Where are we trading into? Look, we're not too far from these April levels, folks. This is how weak Meta is. Look at this, a massive weakness now. It's coming into areas of interest, but you wouldn't want to be long yet. Hasn't found a bid. Microsoft, massive gap down as well. Look at that, huge gap down and selling. This market is aggressively selling right here, right now already. Nvidia getting absolutely slammed now as well. So I'd be watching previous day low here on Nvidia. This is it previous day low or is it Friday? I'll be watching Friday's low. If Friday's low starts breaking, you're going to see this market really start to let go. So we can even set a price alert in here. Just set a price alert so I'm ready for it. And Tesla, that looks well, slight gap down. It looks better than the rest. So market opening up very, very weak. It's always tricky when we see this. Let's just check a couple other names. Oracle, very much like Nvidia. AMD following suit like Nvidia back into the lows. So this is always tricky when we're gapping down this much, when we've got this much fear in the market. These are the areas where, unfortunately, shorts can often come flying in a bit late. We don't have prime position, and so we have to be a little bit careful about how we operate in the open. Not a bad day to just let it figure out what it is it wants to do and go from there. I'm not going to get a chance to do the good mornings today, folks. I'm sorry. But good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hopefully you had a good afternoon yesterday. It was a really nice breakdown yesterday. And let's just see what we get here this morning. Be careful as well. Like I said, some of these sites are already down. Apex does have a new 80% sale on with $40 resets, but I think currently they're struggling with this Cloudflare like everyone else. I also have my Black Friday sale on. Code BF will get you 25% off everything on my site right now. I haven't announced it or done anything on socials, but some of you taking advantage of that already. First come, first served on that. So good morning, everyone. Welcome. Let's see what we get. Smash that like button nice and early, please. Let's get those likes up. And let's see how we go here, folks. Let's just see how we go here. 10 seconds to the open. Most of the market is gapping down here into the open. Let's just see. Yeah, all of the market other than Apple and Goog on a gap down at the open. So let's just see here, folks. Let's see what we can gather informational wise from here this morning. So coming straight into this sort of dense area, this grey box that we've been trading in all night, right? This is the thickest area that we've been trading in all night. Just let this develop for a second. Okay, so up for these lower time frame algos through our PDL. Is that right? I just want to make sure that's correct. Is that the up? Yes. Reclaimed PDL. Gap fill and previous day value area low all the way up here. Long way away. Long way away. It's crazy, isn't it? Getting stuck here in this thick volume already. It's pretty scary, and that just got rejected pretty hard on that thick volume to start this session. That's some big selling coming in there to start the day. So just be careful here, folks. This is a very aggressive whipsaw market right now. Be very careful. Expanding lower here to start the day by the looks of it. Into this blue box. Nice and easy, please, folks. Nice and easy here to start the day. So rejecting this big cluster from overnight. This grey box, remember, was our under over. So if we keep rejecting that, you might see weakness in the market. The worst thing is the location right now. It's very heavy market. So that push up got sold into at the start. We've let go of volume. And we have a Globex low down here. It's at 600s that it might want to go to. We have lost location, unfortunately. The traders with the best location are those traders who played overnight. Just be aware of that. I'll give you a readout on the market as well. Tesla 0.72% down, Nvidia 1.85% down, Microsoft 0.90% down, Meta 1.61% down, Google 0.18% down, Amazon 1.70% down, Apple relative strength again. It's incredible. Like, I'm absolutely buzzing that I'm holding that. So finding a bid off that blue zone right now. Let me just check the Qs. Trading right at that 600. Okay, so they're trying to get a bid on that 600. That is the put wall that we talked about. They came right into it at 600. They're trying to find a bid. Wow. All right, so there's Mr. Put Wall saying you're not going lower. This is why we don't short the lows, because we've lost location and straight up we go. That put wall, huge. All right, and like I said, don't be surprised to see 100+ point candles with this volatility. And there you go. There's your 100+ point M1 candle. That happened in a matter of seconds. Okay, I know that this is likely to happen because of the VIX. This is why it's very dangerous to be trading like this at the moment. Let's just see. Let it settle down. So this put wall, this blue box is basically your put wall on QQQ, and we just bid right off it. They are not willing to let price come below that. Remember, it's OPEX this week as well. That is a big reaction off that put wall. And it's also reclaiming previous day low, and it's also not allowing it. I'm just going to double check this to drift under. What was that low there? 75. What was our low on here? That's the lower Bollinger Band. All right, put wall is also at that lower Bollinger Band. Same Peter, just sat waiting, because I know we've lost location. I know higher time frame wants to move lower, but I also know, like we talked about in the morning briefing, shorts often get caught at the lows in these markets, which is why I don't know how long some of you have been traded, but if any of you have traded bear markets before, you will know bear market rallies are some of the most violent moves that you can get, as per that. We just literally talked about it 10 minutes ago. This is what happens in bear market rallies. Shorts get stuck at the lows into a put wall, and they don't go anywhere, and then you get this explosive move out of it. Google finding a bid here as well. For me, this is just let it settle down. Let it calm down, decide what it is it wants to do. Because right now, this morning, we've already got 167 point range in the first 4 minutes. And that was actually made in the first 3 minutes. So just be aware. Where is my anchor? There you are. All right, back down to New York VWAP right now. Just let it settle down, folks. Let it settle down. It's going to be violent. Honestly, these moves are going to be violent the next few days. We've got to get through Nvidia earnings and see how we react, in my mind. After Wednesday evening, it gets probably a bit easier, or Thursday. Probably still very volatile, but the read on the market will be a bit easier, because if they're done propping it up, holding for Nvidia, and they sell it, we move lower. If they're going to prop it up, push on Nvidia, and then sell it, it will also be of interest. All right, back down to this New York Open then. Range pretty big right now. Then don't enter red plasma. If you're having a hard time entering, hands off the mouse and just let it do whatever it is it's got to do. So back to this sort of condensed box. Pushes this morning failed. Google's selling back down now, so it just had a wild pop up, selling back to this New York Open now. And we have to see what happens around here. Again, Qs are under the 600. That is a worry. That would be a worry for me. Qs have moved under that 600 level. Or they're over, under, over, under, over, under. So there's a battle here on the Qs. SPY's not at 660 yet. Big battle in the options market, I would say, at the moment. Big battle. Just let it develop. Just look at your London and Asia. We've not really moved. I mean, yes, Asia sold off. London retested, came back down to the low. What I mean is where we're opening up, we've not taken out London or Asia. We're just sat in the middle of that range right now. Sat in the middle of their range. VIX finding a bid of previous day high there as well, I think. Is that previous day high? Yes, it is. I'm just happy to let this develop for a bit. Just make sure you're staying zoomed out. All right, I'll show you what I'm looking at. All right. Here's Asia. Here's the double bottom. Here's the London print. Here's where we are. Here's the thickest area. This is the battle zone, battle zone, battle zone. Let them dictate. Because if they can hold bids over here, maybe they want to come and revisit this. If they fail this, maybe they want to come down here. This is what I'm seeing right now, but the location is not ideal to look for that kind of move lower. So I'm just going to let it develop. If they want to squeeze out, they can squeeze out. Let them squeeze out. It's a bit like yesterday, those of you trading the afternoon. If you're patient enough to let the squeeze out happen, this little one here, once they got exhausted, it offered a nice trade back down. So we can wait for something like that so we can have a better location. We just see. Not every day, perfect trade day. You might see like huge candles and think, oh, I could have made loads of money, but you got to ask yourself, what's your entry? So far, we're protecting this blue box and we're reclaiming grey box. And if they can put a squeeze on, they're going to come from gap fill and previous day value area low. Big ifs right now. Remember, if you're going to play that, you're playing counter trend to the higher time frame, which is why I'm not going to play it. Did any of you catch those shorts yesterday for the continuation? I know guys in my Discord did, but any of you not in the Discord, did you get any of it? Where's that yield? Cooling off a bit actually today. Interesting. Jack, you got it? Nice. Okay, back down to VWAP, back down to this grey box, back down to this New York Open. Sensitive areas. Nothing's changed here, folks. Same levels. Nothing's changed. Big back and forth here. Big back and forth. Nice, Jack. Good work. You're having a hard time doing what? Sorry, hard time gauging momentum during Globex. What do I recommend? Higher time frame. Zoom out and then look at where the liquidity is. If there is no momentum, if it's in a range, then that's probably while you're struggling. Last night, I would say we're in downside pressure. The move was to clean out previous week lows, right? Because we left those on the NQ in yesterday's session and SPY took them. That was the obvious draw on liquidity, so that's why we traded down to that. And if you watched, I talked about it yesterday, the treasuries in the bond market in Japan is causing pressure on US equities. It happened again last night. And that's what caused, once that got released, that caused that cascade, let's call it. Back down to this New York Open, I'd be watching this New York Open. So far, they're holding this grey box. If they start letting go, we're going to go all the way back down to these lows. It's not very pretty, but that's what we're looking at. If shorts get stuck here trying to force that, we're going to go right back to the highs. It's just midpoint of the range, and the range is big, 167 points so far in this opening print this morning. VIX trying to catch a bid at New York Open as well. Apple now the only one green. everything else started to sell. So Google had that morning pop and got sold off. Dangerous. This is a very dangerous looking market to me. I think both sides probably trapped here at the moment. Dangerous looking market. Just let it develop. Yeah, that's just overnight. It's the thickest level from overnight, that grey box, Julian. So it's where it's traded under over. Basically point of control from overnight. That's where we've chopped around, which is also why you've got both flow zones there. You've got lower time frame algo there. You've got previous day low there. And you've got both VWAPs there. And you've got New York Open there. Okay, this is telling you, look at everything sideways. There's your New York Open. There's previous day low. There's flow zones. There's New York VWAP. There's lower time frame algo. There's 24-hour VWAP. It's telling you, isn't it? We're condensed in here. This is dangerous in here. We need to outside of that range. Otherwise, we're going to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Very, very dangerous. Okay, bears starting to try and take over underneath New York Open now. If you start rejecting that box, you might get a move back to the lows. Remember, off these lows, we had like 100 and something point candle. All right, off these lows, we had 100 and something point candle because this is that big put wall that we saw on the Qs. We are under that level now on QQQ. We're not under that level yet on the spiders. Spiders need to get under 660. They're currently trading at 662. Qs need to be under 600, which they are. So I'd be watching this for an over-under now. Just be aware that down in this level is where all those shorts, last time we came down here, this is where they all got, well, I don't know what you want to call it. Face ripped. Face ripped is probably a good word for it. Back down into these levels, probably some covering at these lows. Do they get a breakdown underneath is what they will be looking for. But last time we came down here, they got nothing, did they? Here we go. So they're going to try because we're under the put wall. So they're going to try for expansion. Here you go. You're starting to see it now. Oof, oof, oof. So Globex down here, if they can get it, 600s. Be very, if you're taking this short, be very, very careful because you're short low of day to try and get down to 600, which is previous week low is 625. So all I'm saying is be careful. Bears are in control for sure. We're underneath the key levels. But spiders are holding up a little bit better than tech today. So we are short on the right asset. If you're going to take the short, location is not ideal. You need to be locking in and then holding runners. You do not need size in this market. You do not need size in this market. So finding a bid, expanding IB low. Just trying to find a bid here in this big blue box. This is where we found a bid twice last night. Just be aware of that. Twice last night, this is where we found a bid. And this morning around this area. So we know it's a big area. If they start breaking down under here, then they can get more follow through. But just be careful. You've got that previous week low at 25s and then overnight low at 600. And under there, we're probably going 400s. If they're really going to break down under there, that would need an expansion underneath the daily Bollinger Band. Remember, that would be kind of like a black swan event. It doesn't happen very often when you see that. This is getting very wiggly in this tape right now. They're very, very worried about getting squeezed out here. But if they don't, if they're successful in seeing downside pressure, it will get very nasty for bulls very, very quickly. All pops being sold here at the moment. Every little move up being sold into is downside pressure coming. Look how quickly this is moving. Wow. Insane. Tape's moving so fast, folks. I'm just sitting out of this for now. That's an insanely quick tape. You could see it down here when we were down here. Amount of orders flying through. And there you go. So shorts getting caught at lows again. Straight back up to this box. How we acted this box key again. Wild. You're braver than me if you're trading this at the moment. RTY relative strength. Yes, it does. You're right. There's probably a small cap doing some damage here this morning. Because if we're seeing rotation out of big names, Wouldn't surprise me to see, I don't know, some bio running, some fluff running, some sector running on that. Yeah, pizza. Mate, it's not for me. I tell you what, this market is not for me. I don't want to be short down here. If I'm going to be short, I want to see how we act up here. And if we reclaim that, I'm happy to like play the long squeeze. But I don't really want to be looking for new money shorts down here. But we're rejecting this grey box again. These moves are no joke. These are big old moves. What do we just move? From three, another 100-point candle. I said to you at the beginning of today, all the time VIX is up here. I can imagine 100-point candles in M1 candles, and we are getting it. We are getting it today. So back down to this low. There is some excess sell on this low, but again, this market is bearish overall, so you just got to be careful. There was excess down here. There were sellers stuck at these lows down here. So I'd say underneath 57s, that's all the time we're holding sort of 60s, basically buyers are in control. Under that, it's night time for the buyers, I would say. Might be night time for them. It is night time for them. Here you go. It's expansion lower. So previous week low here, green box. So we rejected grey, back to green here, previous week low. Snap this. This is your next low. Underneath that, it is good night. Sayonara. It's big, strong selling. Woof. Mental, man. So quick. So quick. I'm still just sat flat right now. So next box, this is a huge level on the yearly profile. All right, this green box is based off a yearly profile. Globex here, this is the next level that you can take out 600s. At the moment, sellers in control. Buyers had the chance to try and take control. They failed. Let's put a profile on here now. We've developed a little bit. Is it going to come? Where is it? There we go. It's normal. 20% of the internet is down. What did you expect? That's not what's causing this, mate. That's not what's causing this. Did we sell off on AWS going down? No. It's got nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing to do with it. Okay, back up to edge of profile on the day that we're developing. Sellers came in with size at 680. So 680 is your control level for sellers. If they defend 680s, they're going to look for lower. If bulls start reclaiming 680s, then a rotation back to that New York Open is possible. I'd say bears are still in absolute control right now, folks. They are in full control, moving this lower. I'd be very, very worried if I was you. You guys talking about trying to buy this, I'd be very concerned. Your higher time frame wants to move lower. It wants to move lower. There's previous week lows. Globex next. You haven't even taken out all the key levels. We're in a major sell. We've got to understand the macroeconomics. We are in a major sell. We haven't reclaimed any key level for you to be buying this. I want to be short biased on this, but I don't want to short the lows. So no, it just will be what it will be. I'd be very, very cautious, those of you calling for buy opportunities in here. The whole market is bleeding out. You're trying to buy against major fear in the market. We're rotating out of names. New lows here, like we said. Okay, 600's next level. And there's your new low. So next box is this green box down here, which is based on the yearly pivots. Okay, based on yearly pivots. I'm not going to be a buyer in this today. I've made that clear. Even if we short squeeze today, I'm not thinking about being a buyer in this. I'd rather let it squeeze out and sell it. Look at VIX approaching 2450s now. Very possible, Julian. Yeah, very possible. And below. We've not seen panic fully set in yet. When panic sets in, it can get nasty. So I want to watch for when spiders, if spiders let go 660, it's major issues for the market. Right, just let this develop. Your range has just been expanded. You're now at 237 points range. We are 21 minutes into the day. It's huge, guys. These are the size that we used to have for the whole day. This was a good day. 220 points for a whole day, right, was good. You're at that in 20 minutes. Just be aware. Just be aware. Ball's got stuck on that last push up again. Every pop so far is being sold into. Every pop so far is being sold into. How long we got to the new hour? 8 minutes. New lows coming here, folks, again. So 600. I'd watch SPY into this 660. It's coming in there now. If SPY lets go 660, this market can get real heavy real quick. And here it is. It's here now. And if it lets go of this, it can get real heavy real quick. If it holds this, this is where you get those sort of big 100-point squeezes out, because this is the put wall on SPY and it's starting to let go. It is starting to let go. So it means we've moved from a put wall of 672 to 670 to 660. So this is your over-under on the spiders. QQQ getting absolutely hammered here, folks. So what I'm saying, I would not be bullish today. I'll be looking for bearish moves, but not giving me something yet that I'm interested in. Let's start getting rid of this now. It's just one of those. I want to be swing short from last Friday's close, really. That was the position to be short from. Hey, Bella, how's it going? Okay, every pop still being sold into is the retest of 600. Same on the spiders. They're still selling every pop here. This can move lower. But again, you want to be careful. Short squeezes can push very, very quick in bear markets. And then it depends if they get sold into. But that 600 on SPY is your over under right now. It's trying to reclaim it. The 660 on SPY is attempting to reclaim it. You want to be careful here. You want to be very careful here. This options market taking over. Too scary for me right now. Big selling down here, folks. So SPY trying to reclaim that 660 or attempting to. So once it breaks away from that violently, we go leg down, basically. Which might be right here, right now. $660, under, over, under, over, under, over. That's what SPY's doing. It's testing under, testing over, testing under, testing over. This is the put wall. So this is about option dealers at the moment more than anything else. Okay, reclaiming spiders, 660.30 now. So can they offer a squeeze back upside? I'll be watching us into some of these key levels here. Remember, we've now come into, this is a big, this green box is based on the yearly profile. Based on the yearly profile. Every pop so far still being sold into. VIX is absolutely ripping faces right now. 2460s. Still no trade for me. Still waiting for something clean. I want to be bearish, but I just don't think I'm going to get a location that I'm really going to be comfortable trading at. Don't really want to trade the lows. And here we go. Another breakdown. So SPY losing that 660. So every pot being sold now. That is clear into this yearly level. So if you were short, this is a covering level for you. We're now approaching 300 points on the day already. You've got 5 minutes left until that new H1, H4. Major fear rolling into this market. Look at everything getting absolutely annihilated right now. You do not want to be a buyer in this market, folks. So Nvidia crossing that 180. I just got all my alerts. So Nvidia starting to let go of that 180 kind of level, or coming into that 180 level. If that breaks, there's a bigger puke. So I had it at 180.60 here on Nvidia. So I'm watching Nvidia into 180 if it starts snapping that. QQQ into, oh, sorry, spiders into a big level here. Let me watch this. Nvidia, where's that shelf? Okay, first wicks here. Next wick on Nvidia will be 179 and then down to 176. Oh, it's so annoying when you got the bias, but it just can't get an entry that you want. Cannot get an entry. More selling it. Testing these lows. Don't think we're done. Don't think we've finished this auction yet. Nice EBH. Yeah, big level for like all of the mag really. We're coming into huge levels across the board. They're all getting absolutely demolished. All right, so Tesla 2.62% down, Nvidia 3.14% down, Microsoft 2.74% down, Meta 2.40% down, Google 1.09% down, Amazon 2.80% down, Apple 0.22% down. All right, Nvidia trying to react off that sort of 180.60. It is finding a bit of a bounce here after taking some liquidity. Just be careful. Like I said, even in bear markets, the bear rallies, the short squeezes can be very, very, very violent. I've made that very clear today. I'm focused on the shorts until we reclaim some big, big key levels, which I'm not seeing. But the rallies can be aggressive. That grey box is kind of your sentiment. Previous week low is right here. See how we're getting a reaction off this? All right, I'll show you where this is, or we can actually probably do it on. We get you back to a daily. Where's you guys? All right, it's the edge down here. All right, this right here. This is like last chance saloon. You see this little bump right here. This is it. If they don't hold this, look how thin we are. All right, so they could do a look below and fail, but if not, well, we're coming right down to 24,000. Right, there's a 500-point thin liquidity in here. Right, so this is like sort of the last edge, the green box that we had on our chart. It's the edge of volume. They don't hold that. 24,000 is on deck. Nice, John. Nice work, everyone. Everyone who got the shorts, well done. I just never see the squeeze up to where I want on these, but this was probably the entry right here. 17s, 20s, underneath grey box, rejection of grey box. That was probably it. Is what it is. I'm not going to get everything every day. It's okay. I did get a piece overnight, so I'm not too worried at the moment. More selling. Panic is in here, folks. Panic is starting to see. You're starting to see everyone liquidating everything. I just want a short squeeze out, not to get long. I want to see a squeeze out so I can sell. I want a violent squeeze out that I can sell into. That's what I'm looking for at the moment. VIX now 25s. This thing's going ripper. All these people saying, "Hey, the bottom's in. There's 80% chance." That shut up. Fucking people I see on Twitter getting poor innocent people murdered because they talk absolute shite. Don't know what they're looking at. Right, here's the edge. Green box. This is coming to the edge here on that volume profile. So black swan kind of scenario here. We're outside of the daily Bollingers. They don't save this into the 500s, huge level, into the 500s. If they don't save that, I would say we're going 24,000, whether it's today or tomorrow or later in the week. It's possible. Please, I need a short squeeze out I can sell into. Please, please, something violent. New H1, H4 here as well. I want to see like 100 plus points at least upside. Otherwise, I can't do anything with this market. Excess sellers caught on those lows. First time today I've seen that. Big selling into 500 caught offside. I would say that. Just watching the delta. You can see it on Bookmap here. These guys got caught. 300 lot at the lows. All right, they got caught. We're moving away from them. Still, overall, sellers are in control, but that is the first time I've seen some decent size caught offside at the lows. Just be aware. Doesn't mean we can't move lower. but I'm just letting you know that that came in at 508. So from 508 to 500, there was strong selling and we didn't move lower yet. It is just yet, because there is panic in this market. But if they hold this, which they're not holding, okay, there you go, lower we go. So full panic, no short for me, no pop for me to sell into. Oh, I just need somewhere to get short. Give me some location, just a squeeze out. Developing a shelf here now as well. I need to be aware of this now. Yeah, let me draw it. Quite a big shelf. Letting go of this box. So 400s and then really 24K. It's very, very possible, folks. Very, very, very possible. Major selling, major panic. Just, I'm trying to be disciplined to not chase. I'm trying to be disciplined not to chase. maybe MZ guy. Maybe. Still just ripping faces here. We're not really, we're not even having, if you think about this, we haven't even developed like, okay, there's one inside bar here to play off and that's it. But like, there's not much development of liquidity. It's just like straight downside. You're now at 372 points downside. Oh, the more we cascade down, the worse it's going to get. The less likely I'm going to get be able to get involved, because you're going to see more panic. The faster we move down, the more people are going to sell their positions. Remember, we're approaching like lows from beginning of October. There's a big pivot into sort of that 24,000, 24,175, and the more we go straight down, the more stops are going to get popped, the more bulls are going to sell all their positions and panic out. Nice, Jack. Good work, mate. Good work. All of you that caught it. Lovely work. So the first sort of pause we've seen for a while, for about 30 seconds. Still think bears are in absolute control. Bulls are getting murdered here, but this is the first sort of calm we've had for a second where it hasn't been moving hundreds of points, but a new low again here. And all these guys, we talked about it, I think, was it yesterday or maybe Friday last week, or at some point I've talked about it. When you get a market where people get used to doing something, i.e. buying dips, they find it very, very hard to then move into a market which does the opposite. So they continue to buy dips and they get hurt. Strong selling here. Nvidia through the 180s now. Big, big problems. Big selling at these lows. And nothing for me to do, unfortunately. Poor Alex. Poor Alex. Big selling at these lows. Might get a bit of a squeeze here if they hold these. But same as before, every time I've said that, they've just sold through it and they've sold again. So, yeah, there's panic. There's absolute panic in this market right now, folks. Bit of a wiggle there. They tried to sell those lows again, not getting follow through. Maybe a small squeeze out coming here soon, which would then interest me. The higher, the better. Not that I'm playing long, just the higher, the better for me to be sell into it. Need to see a few hundred points though. I'm not seeing any shift in change structure or anything like that yet. But into this blue box is an area of interest. They might want to defend it. Let's see what they do with this. Watching this 25,000, 24,500. Can they squeeze right through that and come back to some level of interest all the way up here, really? Developing a bit. See, we're thin in here, so if they get through this, 540s is possible and above. Here you go. So here's the start of the squeeze. Those sellers got stuck like I just talked about. So here's the 500. 40 is possible. Through that, we go reclaims. So bears will want to defend between 40 and 60-point range. They'll want to defend this range up here, this grey box. I'm going to get rid of this green one. Okay. This grey box now becomes key. Bears are stuck at the lows currently. For 2 candles in a row, bears got stuck in the lows. Here's the push towards 24.5. God, I can't get the numbers out because they're so moving so quick. And then 40 would be the retest, and then through 40 to the other side of that pocket. And you're starting to see a bit of a rally here. So if you took this long, once I told you bears were stuck, you better be taking some profits between now and 40s and then just holding runners. It's a big push. They hold 25 on a dip. It's a psychological level. Here come the 40s, the push towards 40s. This is a big test. If they get through this, they can squeeze to the other side of this box. Here's the 40 test. And if they get through this, the other side looks really good at the moment. I am small sizing this long. I know I said I wasn't going to, but once it's set up, I had to. Beautiful. Tempted just to hold this. Come on. Taking some here. Can we get through this now? What's the other side of this? 600. Come on. Do a massive giant candle upside for me. Moving stop aggressively up now. Locking more in here at 40. Starting to see some sellers try and defend. There we go. So into 40s. This was the trade. I know I said I wasn't going to take it, but I did. Once we reclaim this shelf, that's the move there. Locked in $1,500 on that. Nice. And they're defending the 40s. All right. So if we get through 40s, the rotation now can happen. So sellers will want to defend this for this move back down to here. If bulls get back through this, we develop. Sellers need to defend this box. If not, we're going to get a relief rally upside. But sellers, your main trend is down. Sellers will want to defend this box. Right. They will want to do this or this. They will not want to see price come back through there. That would be a look below Globex and a reclaim. Which is what you're starting to see now. You can set price alerts again for SPY 660 because we traded under it. You can set price alerts for that re-push into it. You're about a dollar away at the moment, just over. So as long as, if you took this long, I know I said I wasn't going to, but it was just too obvious. I had to take it. Blue box, and remember this was all planned pre-market. Back to here, pay yourself now. If you get very lucky, you squeeze out, but your main trend is down, right? Your main trend is down. You want to really be focused on the shorts where possible. So VIX trading back downside, or pulling back, I should say, off the high of 25.71. Okay, bears currently defending this grey box like we talked about. This is a big volume shelf here. I'll tell you where bears got stuck at those lows. 24.460. All right, and then at the very low, 24.436. But I'd say any hold of 24, so let's just call 480. Any hold of 480 can be your first high or low. Bulls, if they want to squeeze, they're going to need to hold 480 or above. That's the level. They have to hold 480 or above. I'm doing that based on what I'm seeing on the tape. Okay, 480 or above if they're going to do a high or low. But remember, the main trend is lower. The easier moves overall are bearish in these markets. The easier moves are not bullish. This is just a little covering rally, a little squeeze out after quite a significant dump. And what's the range now on the day? Just a casual 402 points. Nothing to see here, folks. Okay, bulls taking control, squeezing. So here's the grey box. I'd be watching VWAP now. So if you're still in this long through the 40s, top of the grey box, 600 and VWAP, that's your next TP. And if you get really lucky, we go further. But just remember, this is a short squeeze, nothing more than that. It is a squeeze out after a big sell-off. Grey box is somewhere I'd normally be interested in shorting and just want to let it sort of shake out for a minute. And the bulls will want to defend 480s. They will not want it below 480s. Under 480s, we will probably make a new low. This is why you've got to understand when you take that long, it's just a counter trend squeeze. That's all it is. And that was a short trigger on the flow zones and point of control and the volume shelf. Okay, here's a move back down to 500. So 480 is the key level. That's your over under. If bulls don't defend that, you probably make a new low there or thereabouts. You've got to give it some wiggle room in this market, obviously, because we're moving quick. So 500s here. Here come the move back to 480. Is 89s, 87s, coming in, 83s. This is the level now. They need to defend here, the bulls, if they're going to have a chance of any more relief. Otherwise, probably new lows. Like I said, it's a short squeeze up. And if they can't defend here, they're going to get themselves in big, big trouble. Which is, looks like they might well be in. Remember, it's just a short squeeze up, sold into it, that area, back down to this level. This is the level. They can't defend this. They're in big old trouble. They are attempting to. Struggling. They are struggling. They're attempting to defend it, but they are struggling. Remember, I'm flat right now, folks. I took the squeeze out. I'm flat at the moment. This is where sellers last came in, right here on this big candle down. So bulls basically now got to get above 95. They've got to defend at 80 and get above 95, and I'm not seeing that on the tape. I'm not seeing that on the tape. I'm seeing quite the opposite. Hopefully that made sense to you all. Squeeze out. They defended this. Like I said, I probably should have just flipped and got... This is what I struggle with. Once I take this is to just flip and go short back down. It's what I should do because it's very obvious. There's your main trend. There's the flow zones. There's your shelf. There's your point of control. There's a retest of this. So that would be TP1, and then TP2 is runners down maybe to 24,000 if they really want to be nasty. So yeah, buyers have got to get back above the 500s. This level here that we just pushed into, this is where all the sellers came in. So buyers have got to get back above 500s, basically. There they go. Back above the 500s. Okay, can we squeeze now then for the first higher low? Big shelf up here into 520 from those sort of three candles up here. So 3 500s into 520s, and through that probably take out this pivot up here. Here we go. Here's 20s. Big level up here, folks. Big level up here. This is a huge battle now. You're going to get whipsaw reaction in this range while they battle it out to decide what they do next. Excess there. Bulls failed to get through with conviction yet, but it might still come. Looks like the first higher low is in. Here we go. Come on. Big level here. Bulls failing here. They're trying. They are trying. That reclaim of 500 was good. But now we're into where we had excess in this and this shelf here. If they reclaim this, there's a bigger squeeze out towards Globex and VWAP, and maybe all the way up here if they're done with it for a minute before they resell it. And this can be a two-leg which is sold into. It could be a failed two-leg which is also sold into. I wouldn't want to be long in this area here. If you're long, it needs to be from down here. You need to be selling into this area as they build out liquidity down here. Remember, they're going to build out lots of liquidity here. This can be a big bear flag, a two-leg which they sell down. They can build a big bear flag, a two-leg which they sell down. Any long today is counter trend on every time frame. Back down to test those sort of 490s areas, 480, 490. It's where the sellers last got stuck. So this is the rotation now. They're going to have to make their mind up here. It might look small, it's not. This is fast moving and big size being traded through here, both sides. Okay, 80s again. Buyers need to hold this. They're trying. I don't have much conviction here for any more longs at the moment, but they are attempting to do it. Like I said, this can be a two-leg or a failed two leg, which just pukes out and big old bear flag down. Remember, easier move of least resistance down today. Right, I'm going to get a new coffee while I let this just do its thing. Be right back. Sorry, folks. Wife just woke up, so I had to make her a coffee as well. All right. Okay, so failed two leg then, and possibly breaking down here. All right, so failed two leg, failed this POC, failed that grey box. Like I said, any long today is just a counter trend short squeeze, and that's been sold into now. So I think we probably make new lows here, I would imagine. Let me just check the excess on that last low. Yeah, probably not enough. I mean, the excess was at 34 and under. Imagine they will probably trade through it, but we will see. We will see. Just be careful, Kevin. You keep saying that. Keep saying that. Just be careful. You're going to have to read the tape very, very well if you're playing longs today like I did. Just be very, very careful. The main move, remember, the main people in control right now are bears. The main emotion going through this market right now is panic. Right? It's not exuberance. It's not buy the dip. Think about all the people that were buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, right? They are in panic. I can tell you, I was on Twitter last night watching these so-called expert influencers telling you that the low is in because we've had a 2 or 3% pullback. What if I missed it? I don't know what I've missed there, folks, but please be nice to each other in chat. No rudeness in this room, remember. The weekly lows are protected. We're under previous week lows, mate. We're under everything at the moment. All right, your previous week low is right up here. See this? 627. That's previous week low. So at the moment, all right, if we go to a monthly chart is the only chart currently which you could say could potentially be bullish versus here, 157. If we go to a weekly chart, all right, we're breaking weekly lows. All right, broken this weekly low, broken this weekly low. These are the next areas that we could come into. If we go to a daily chart, so weekly's in breakout underneath here. If we go to a daily chart, daily's in breakout. Obviously, if daily's in breakout, everything else is on breakout. Yeah, hourly's in breakout, 4 hours in breakout, etc., etc. So all I'm saying, I'm not saying you can't take the counter trend squeezes. All I'm saying is it's the harder trade to take, right? That's all I'm trying to say. It's the harder trade to take is this move back upside. At the moment, it's working for you, but it's the harder trade to take. We haven't got back over, for example, POC's now flipped here. We're not back over this. Once we get back over this, maybe there's a relief to here. They might well resell, right, a pop up into here, for example. So that's all I'm saying, my friend. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm telling you be careful. All right. Big old squeeze. There you go. Here's VWAP. Woof. Like I said, bear market squeeze. Like the squeezes in bear markets can be drastic. There you go. This for me can still be very bearish. Right. So just be. All I'm saying is be careful. Make sure you're locking in. If you're playing counter trend, you've got to lock some in. I'll be watching for a hold over. So this is sort of moved now. So I'd be watching for a hold. If this is going to be a W and a hold, they've got to hold the top side of this really for this move here if they're going to do it. God, it's moved so quick, moved off my charts. Okay, some bulls got trapped at the top there. Big buying at the top there, not what you want to see. And there's probably a passive seller in there moving it away. Let's see if they actually hold a dip here or if we just like wash all the way back through, which would not surprise me either because it's a short squeeze and we're still under VWAP, etc., etc. So what's this level here of interest? Sort of 50s down to 23s. If they hold that, bulls can have a bigger squeeze out. If they don't hold 50s down to 20s, then they're probably coming back to the lows, right? Remember, we are under the VWAPs. SPY not through 660 yet. So far, they just hold that dip into 50s. So far, I mean, it was there for about a nanosecond. So 50s to 20s needs to hold for bulls. If they get that, there's a bigger squeeze out here. Starting to see it. Try and develop. This is a big area up here because bulls got stuck. If we can break this high, there's a bigger squeeze coming. I am in this small size at the moment, just watching it. I'm taking profit as I go because I know I'm counter trend. I saw that dip and we held that key level. So watching VWAP and Globex here, I've already taken some money off the table here, folks. It's a very dangerous trade. They can absolutely slam this on the face if they want. I think we're going to move higher at this point. 600 big over under. I'm not seeing too many transactions here, so I think we're going to trade through it. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, here's VWAP, here's Globex. If we base above this now, we're watching for a move into 70s. Remember, we're counter trend, so we expect shorts to come in. Do not be adding late. We expect, I cannot say it enough, we expect shorts to come back into this market and cause pain. So 50s to 20s was the entry. I said if we hold 50s to 20s, there we go. It's just very simple. You can make it a W, can't you? Do. Hold of this. That was an awful drawing, Alex. Hold of this. Okay, we're bullish to here. Take some profit off into here. Low volume node. If we get through this, we're looking for 70s. If we fail this, we're out on the runner's break even or in the money if you want. Here we go back down towards that level. So again, 50s to 20s have to hold. Otherwise, we're going back towards lows. My stop is now in the money and about to get knocked out here on the runner. So locked in some more money. And this is why, like I said, you have to expect bears to come back in. This is now the two leg that we talked about. If they fail under here, they're going to come right down to here, and this would be strong momentum, and that is a giant bear flag, right? So if they don't hold this, they come back down lower. This is how we build liquidity. This is literally how we build liquidity. This is a liquidity build out. Bulls must defend this if they're going to get a bigger squeeze. Failing to defend this allows this rotation for new lows. 50s to 20s is the level. We're still actually holding it, that grey box. Maybe a bit premature there from me, but wanted to lock in. Everyone in chat, just calm down. I'm not sure what's happened because I missed it, but calm heads, guys. You need calm heads when you're trading. You'll see me lose my head sometimes, and it means I can't trade. Just calm heads. If you got something wrong or whatever, just try and let it go. If you can't let it go, just shut your screens down or go for a walk or do whatever you've got to do. But calm heads. No blaming anyone else for anything. You're in charge of your own decisions, your own trades in chat. Okay, there's always two trades to be had. There's both sides. You can both make money. You can both trade both sides. Like you said, you would have seen me today saying I'm focused on the shorts, but I've ended up trading the longs because the shorts haven't set up for me. So, you know, it's a two-sided tape. It's you versus you. It's not you versus someone else. We're here to support and help each other. I will give you a readout the best I can on how the market's moving. But calm heads, folks. Bull still holding this grey box and in control here. VWAP is massive, though. VWAP and Globex is massive. What's nice is I took a 2.5 grand payout last night on a funded next, and I basically replenished that already, which is awesome. Always nice when that happens. Okay, VWAP here, edge here. You can see this edge here. Maybe I need to do one of these for you so you can see it. Right, this edge here, thin above this, right? Thin above this. This level is massive up here for the market to make a decision. It's Globex and VWAP. If we get back through this, it's basically like a failed auction under Globex and we could trade back upside. But I expect this to be a highly contested area. First win on the channel, took the long for 15 points. No worries. What's Globex? Just overnight session, AB. So London and Asia. So we're basically, if you look at the double bottom that we made at 11 o'clock and 2 a.m., that's what this orange line is. It's that double bottom. So back towards that double bottom now. SPY back through the 660 at the moment. A bigger squeeze can happen here if they can hold over this. If they fail this, you know the rotation back downside, all right? So a bigger squeeze can happen if they go over this. Maybe we get up into here for some relief. But this grey box, massive level. Massive, massive, massive level. So far, they are defending it. Overall trend, remember, is down. Overall trend is down. Bulls so far have got stuck up above 600 on the last, or both attempts basically up there. So that attempt at 1024 and that attempt at 1028, both times up there they got stuck. So back down towards these 50s and 20s, and bulls will need to defend this point of control. Failing this, we'll probably go low of day. So these are the rotations now where they have to make their mind up, or it's trouble, or it is big trouble. So back down to these lows, and we will see decisions to be made here by the bulls, basically, and by the bears. It's by both. Big and nasty moves coming. Either way, they're going to get themselves caught in these levels as we rotate. SPY still not back through that 660. I think it just might have just had an attempt and failed up there. That's the big level, is the put wall. We'll see. I think for us, that Globex and sort of VWAP are very, very key. So rotate between these, fail this, probably back down towards this low down here. And that would be a 2-leg, which has been sold into to come lower. We're thin in this area here. Very, very, very thin. Vic's trying to find a bid on 5-minute flow zones at the moment. Very dangerous market here. Very, very dangerous two-way tape. I don't trade options, so I couldn't tell you, Taylor. I just know the walls. I'm only interested in the levels and the walls. Buyers trying to defend that 20s to 50s still. Liquidity now being built out in the rotation between these grey boxes. If buyers break out through here, there's a move up to 70s like we talked about. This is major rotation in between these levels. Here we go. Can they get this squeeze? Can they get through Globex is the question. Every attempt up there, they've been sold into so far. So every pop up towards 600 has been sold into so far. And again, sold into. Big battle. This is a huge battle on the tape here. They know that this is pivotal onto what happens next. Both sides. Oh, thank you. Yeah, IB now set. This purple line down here, initial balance low down here. Big contested level here. Big contested level here. Bears trying to step on the gas to force this back down for this two-leg finish. Bulls trying to defend point of control and grey box. Still can't believe Apple's green. The strength in that is maddening to me. Like, I'm happy because I'm long Apple, but it's crazy how strong that is. Like, internal meetings that Tim Cook might be leaving. Jeff Williams has left. Like, all this stuff. And yet it's green. It's green on the day. It's amazing. Good sign. Okay, into this bottom of this grey box. So Bear's got the force down to there, but Bull's still trying to defend the edge of this grey box in the thin liquidity. And they're trying to soak straight back up. So the rotation still continuing. It is a battleground, folks. Bulls look like they might have just caught some bears down there on that last move. A hold of 36 here is very, very bullish. So watching Globex now, if they squeeze through here, there could be a bigger move because they just trapped bears at 36 or below 36. Bulls got trapped up here the last 3 attempts to get through 600. So that's your level, basically. And again, getting sold into. Every push up here in front of 600 is getting sold into. Someone's going to get hurt soon. There's a lot of liquidity being built out in between these two grey boxes now. Huge amount of liquidity. Big battle. Big battle. Tape's moving quick. The amount of orders going through is mental. Tape is moving quick. Oof. So fast, guys. It's so fast, this tape. The rotation, grey box to grey box, grey box to grey box. And then someone will lose outside of these grey boxes. Crazy. It's just the speed of the tape's crazy. Remember, the overall trend is bearish. I cannot say that enough for all of you looking for the longs. The overall trend is bearish. I know I've taken a couple longs today, but the overall trend is down. And this is a 2-leg. And if they sell through this, new lows are available. I cannot say that enough. Here come the bears taking control. So Bulls failed to complete the rotation above this level. VWAP held, Globex held. Now they're going to retest these lows. This can be a 2-leg. It can be a giant bear flag if they want. Bulls really must defend. Otherwise, there's your 2-leg. Bulls are trying to defend this right now. This is the last chance that they have. And it's very dangerous to do this move here. And this is bearish momentum. And it can be sold into these next areas if they want. Remember, the main trend is down. $500s here. SPY failed to reclaim those 660s. Market's in panic. It is in panic. What are we doing on the H1? The hardest thing now is going to be like shorts because we're outside, like for my rules, we're outside of daily Bollingers. Are they adding liquidity lower? Yes, they are. There's so much panic in this market at the moment. I'm just watching them dump inventory on the tape at the moment. Back down towards these lows. It's game over here, I would say. Initial balance low there. VIX finding a bid. Game over here, I would say. We are into a little node, but I would find it somewhat unlikely that bulls are able to defend this given the momentum. It would be a very, very impressive hold. Aggressive selling on the tape here. They're trying to force a new low of day. They are trying to force a new low of day breakdown. If they don't get it through this area, they're going to get caught, and the rotation will go right back up to this grey box. They are trying to force a new low of day breakdown here. They might well get it. That's what they're looking for, but it's such a big battle, and the speed of the tape is something else. It is something else. Here's the squeeze right back up, back to this grey box probably. Bears will need to defend that grey box in that thin area. Failing to defend that, we'd probably go straight back to the upside and retest the VWAP. And the rotation will just keep continuing until they've caught enough offside of whichever direction they're trying to trade in for the next hour or two. Bears came flying back in there. They're trying to force a breakdown. They really want to force a breakdown underneath the current IB low here. They're attempting into that old imbalance. They've got control here if they want to do it. It's just, I don't know if they've got the juice in them. Because they keep forcing the lows and they're not moving lower. But if the bulls give up, it will snap. Just the speed and size going through. Crazy, man. I feel like I'm watching small caps. The speed and size going through this tape, I do feel like I'm watching small caps. It's mental. Squeeze straight back up here. They're going to test this grey box up here. They need to defend it, the Bears, otherwise. It's a failed breakdown, second attempt. Second attempt failed breakdown if they can't break under these Bears. They came flying in at those lows and didn't get the move that they wanted. I mean, I don't know what's considered big size now because I'm not seeing any orders go in under hundreds and hundreds of lots. Everything's massive. Here they go. One more attempt then to go lower by the looks of it. Now or never for these Bears, I would say, for a last attempt to get down underneath IB and then maybe down to 24,000. What's the next level? 24,200 if they can get that snap below IB. There is a 200-point move under here back down into this level next. If. It's a big if right now because they're coming piling in and we're not moving lower. So there's absorption happening on the tape here. It just means you got a size down, Bart. It just means you got a size right down, doesn't it? Or you can leave it alone. If you're uncomfortable, it's also fine. VIX still finding bids here, and we're not seeing breaking down here. VIX looks like it's going to break out, and we're not seeing a breakdown here on the cues. Two-way tape here now. I think you're just getting a lot of liquidity stuck both sides here at the moment. This just feels like a nasty two-way tape. Someone's going to get really, really, really hurt. This level here. Edges with the Bears, right? Edges with the Bears right now, but can I draw this? They've got to. Why can't I draw this? Fucking TradingView, man. They've got to force a breakdown under here. They've got to liquidate bulls underneath this level, get underneath initial balance, and then there's a 200 break. If they can't do that, they're going to get themselves caught. This is what? Fourth or fifth attempt down here now, and they're not moving under. So there is someone here soaking the tape because it's very aggressive selling and we are not moving lower. You're going to get a really nasty move incoming. You can't have that much size in a condensed area and not see a nasty move one way or the other. Yes, it's not just that they're building liquidity, it's the amount of size here is huge. This is not a joke. What's happening in here is massive. These orders are fucking huge, mate. There you go. Told you. You can't have that much size down there and not see a breakdown and get away with it. Straight back to the grey box. They go. And if bears don't defend this grey box, we go on a fucking giant squeeze now because they've all just got caught down here. So bears must defend this grey box. If they don't defend this grey box, well, I don't really know what to say. They're going to get absolutely butthurt. They're going to be absolutely butthurt if they don't defend this grey box. So huge rotation. Huge rotation is available both sides of this. I wouldn't want to be bearish at those lows, which is what they've all tried to do. They've just got absolutely wrecked. Oh, you think this doesn't look big? That's 100 points, and they've got thousands of orders down there. Thousands. Which is why I'm saying the tape is insane. Absolutely insane what I'm witnessing here. I don't remember seeing a tape move like this. Whoa. Grey box defended. Back to this grey box. Rotation continues. One side to the other, one side to the other, one side to the other. No change. That's all we're going to get until someone wins this game. And these are 100-point M1 candles, folks. Yeah, it's just massive rotation. What are you looking at? I'm looking at Bookmap and the footprint. Looking at both. Insane. Insane. Mad, man. This is mad. Bears have the chance here. I'm not convinced yet. They have the chance. They've got to break down here aggressively. They've come in at this level we're at numerous times without any success. They've got to break down aggressively here. They've piled in again here. And there's definitely huge absorption going on here. There you go. They got caught again. Guys, this is absolutely insane. Just a casual 480 lots there, buy side. Just squeezing straight out. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. There's no way I'm touching this at this point. This is mental. These are hedge funds like betting against each other. So I'm not touching this until someone's clearly won. This is crazy. These two grey boxes, the size being traded between these is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Once you get a breakout from here, I can't explain. Once you have this much size in a very condensed area, a breakout from this area, it can be violent. Like numerous hundreds of points very, very quickly. Back down to this same level that bears are attempting to get through again. Back to this 480 level again, as in where that 480 lot came in. So it's 500. Wow. Bears have the edge, but there is a soaking going on here, basically. Bears have the edge, but they must see a breakdown sub 60, basically. They've got to get sub 60, and then they get IB, and then they get a nasty wash, I would expect. But at the moment, they're not getting that sub 60 move. They're being absorbed into 70s. Every attempt's being absorbed and absorbed and absorbed and absorbed, and back to 500s we're going to go. And if they squeeze it through here, then back to 40s we go very quickly. And if they squeeze through there, then all the way back to 600s we go. And that might sound like nothing, but we're currently trading at 470. So that's 130 points like that. Can happen like that. And if bears get their way, well, then all of this gets washed out and this becomes available. It is a scary tape. And if you're not scared of this, then I don't know what to tell you. It means that you're not really reading what's going on, because this is a scary, scary tape. No, Ransom, this is not what it feels like. It doesn't feel like any tweet is going to take us to all-time highs. I don't even know what to say to that. Do you know where we are? We're liquidating daily, weekly, and monthly players. We're not going all-time highs anytime soon. Back to these 70s, which keep being soaked. 70s keep being soaked over and 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 over. Does this buyer eventually give up? Or has he just got trillions of dollars to keep soaking here? At the moment, it seems like it. Endless supply of money here. Back to his level again. He's still soaking off those 75s. Wow. Does he give up? He's got so much money to be doing this. $72s. Dude, bears, it's now or never for them. Honestly, it's now or never. It's now or never for them. Still soaking. He's still soaking the bid. Oh my God. This guy's a beast. Man, if he gets out of the way, I don't think there's anyone left to prop it up. Still soaking. He's still soaking. Jeez, man. This guy's huge. He is huge. Someone's going to get hurt. Like I said, 100 points. Very, very quickly happen. Can't believe how long we've been here. Can't believe how long we have now been here. Here, he's getting out of the way. He's fucked. He's fucked. Down to the lows we go then. He is absolutely fucked. Does he soak IBL now is the only question. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He spent that whole time soaking this level here and here. Okay, so if they crash IBL, then I think a bigger rotation, this huge puke is available. Absolutely insane the amount of volume traded there. Absolutely insane. This is way beyond what I'm willing to do right now. When I see players this big fighting, it's very, very scary. Once one gets out of the way, which we're starting to see now, IBL, we can expect expansion. Again, the problem now is you're trading. Yes, we're trading a downtrend, but we're way, way, way outside of reasonable areas. If we think about dailies, right? Here is your bowl. Here's the shelf. They've let go of the shelf. The rotation is available. But really, we need the bowl to be catching up, and we're not going to see that for a day or two. It's tough how they've done this overnight. Location I wanted to be short, for those joining late, was up into here, which they offered. Well, they didn't even offer it to Globex, really, or did they? Yeah, they did. They did. They offered it to Asia. That was the short. Shorting down here is very risky, but we have got this Globex shelf, which is holding currently. But this just seems it's a very, very risky day to be trading, trying to short the lows now. And it's a very risky day to be trying to buy. Are we going back to this guy's level? Did he just save it? Where was his big order before? 270, 90, there's 500 again. Flipping heck. Yeah, just a 400-point initial balance range. I know. Well, look at this reaction off I below. Well, it's just under 100 points there. So that's straight slingshot. It's mental, isn't it? Back towards POC. I don't know what to say here, folks. This is it's very rare I see a market moving this much size this quickly, but that's what I'm watching at the moment. Both sides getting hurt at the moment, I would say. Bears have got the edge. They've got the higher time frame edge. We haven't got an edge as a bear necessarily, lower time frame because we've lost location. The bears have got their edge, higher time frame, and if they want to get a breakdown, they will. This 500 is a big level. This is where that guy basically soaked there to 70, there to 500 to 70, that kind of area for a long time in this grey box. If bulls reclaim this, then they're going to try and hit this as a rotation. If they reclaim that, next level is rotation. But remember, bears are in control of this market on the higher time frame. We are in a panic selling kind of moment in this market. They are adding liquidity lower now, all the way down to 400s. The first time I've seen them sort of come in the book more aggressively down there. So 440s, 430s, 400. Let's go down and see if anyone's lower. 350s, 330s, 300s, 290s, 250s. Yeah, lots of liquidity lower. Oh, the tape's mad. Yeah, the tape's mad. Okay, I'm gonna use a bathroom while it does this. I'll come back and hopefully it's calmed down a little bit. Oh, look at that. Back to that same level. Who'd have guessed? Who'd have guessed? Crazy. All right. Let's get this tape catching up, see where we're at. Oh my God. I can't believe this. The size coming in. Jeez. The size coming in. Madness. Absolute madness. Okay, Bull's trying to force this squeeze. I'm going to get rid of this. It's becoming less important. Bears still have the edge technically for a breakdown. Bulls are defending this IBL right now. Let me just check the ES. Did it break under IBL? No. ES also defending it. VWAPs are all pointing downward. Flow zones are all pointing downward. Crazy, 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 crazy tape. It's literally like if you look at Bookmap, where are you guys? This is what's nuts, right? So we trade into a low, right? And we catch some guys off guard here. And the squeeze just comes. Look, there's market orders. This is just a straight squeeze. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And once we chat 100 lot, dump. And straight downside again. It's very, very fast moving. Bull's trying to defend this POC right now. But bears, like I said, bears have the edge in this market at the moment, folks. Can I explain the IB range? It's just the first hour of trading. That's all it is. It's the extremes set on the first hour. The highest point and the lowest point between the 9:30 and 10:30 open in the New York. Still not, yeah, everything's down. TPT's down, Canva's down. Everything that uses that same thing is down currently. It's a pain, but it is what it is. Bears reselling this. They want to break IB. They're looking for a rotation lower. I just can't, based on rules, I can't be a short down here. Just cannot. And I don't want to long this back up right now. Not right now, not with what I'm seeing. Not in a two-way tape. But Bears might get a big panic flush today, but we would have needed to be short on pops and drives out this morning, which we didn't see. This was it. I wanted to get short up here. It's very much like the last 2 days. There's just not been enough strength at the market open to give us prime location. It's just unfortunate. So we have to stick to rules, but it is what it is. Head and shoulders forming. I mean, yeah, you could argue that here if you're looking for a breakdown. Just be careful with a look below and fail in this pocket. But yes, bears have control right now. No doubt about it. Multi-time frame bears currently are in control of this market. Flow zones are point down. VWAPs are point down. You're underneath previous day low. You're underneath previous week low. You're underneath Globex. You're into some interesting levels. Bears have the edge. It's just depend if this guy absorbing the tape, if bears fail, if they fail to move lower, squeezes will happen, right? Like we talked about, even in bear markets, the squeezes can be violent like this. Prime example. If bears keep trying to short down here and they don't get the break, or even worse, they get the break and they get this, you'll get a squeeze out because the best short location is way up higher, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of points higher. VIX looking like he's gonna do that breakout to the upside at the moment. Heavy tape here. Big selling here. Big selling here. New hourly bar here, folks. New hourly bar here. Just sat patiently waiting. Got 2 of those little squeezes up today. Nothing else. Did trade a little bit overnight. I'm just waiting now. Yeah, since 10 a.m., CVD is up. Yeah. So you've got divergence there, really, because if we break this low, you're going to buyer's trap, don't you? It would be up because it would be that guy on the tape trying to soak it the whole time. Okay, here's your lows. This can get real nasty real quick. All right, so you're either going to get a look below and fail here, or you're going to get an absolute tank just straight down. VIX trying to break out here. Strong selling on the tape here. They are piling into this. Bulls are all stopping out now. They're all getting washed out, and you can get panic now. This thing can really start getting very, very, very panicky. If it fails to reclaim any levels, this can get very, very panicky. Think how many people have been trying to soak this, or think about that player been trying to soak it that whole time. If he can't get a reclaim here, right, he's stuck, isn't he? Big sellers came in there at sort of 37s. 37s to 40s, that kind of level. That's where sellers will want to protect. That's where they came flying in. It's where all the size came onto the tape. They won't want it back above that. Kevin, you keep saying that, man. I'm getting very worried about you, my friend. Every dip down, you're looking for a buy. We haven't reclaimed anything. In fact, we've let go of everything. More selling coming in here at the lows. We're running out of things to look for. I mean, I would say sort of 150s, 160s we have is not out of the question right now. Is not out of the question right now. 150s down here is not out of the question. Not at all. You would, if Kevin, what I'd say is, if you're going to look for a buy, at least let it reclaim a level. At least let it show you something would be what I'd say, or at least let it trap someone or do something, because otherwise it's going to be very easy to get caught. Like if you start reclaiming IB, sure, like by all means it makes sense, right? That's all I'm saying to you. But if you're bidding here, okay, you might have got lucky right now, but they can wash this down lower if they want. VIX new high day there. Just broke out a new high day there, VIX. Can it hold its gains? It's 400 over under here. Big battle around this 400 level. Remember, there's not much here until we get way down here now. I can't really see much. Let me just check the volume profile. Yeah, we're very thin here. I'd say the next little bump in the road is sort of 300. 300 to 240 based on the yearly profile, and then 150. So 300 to 240. We can just pop a little box in. 300, if TradingView wants to let me. 300 to 240. Okay, that's just based on the yearly profile. There's a little bump in the road there. Right, here's your IB retest. This is key now onto what happens next. So far, bears are defending that IB retest, aren't they? And the big level is really up there at 60s. So potential trend day if they defend that IB. If we get back through the initial balance, potential squeeze for a test up to 460 is possible. Not seeing too much excess anywhere yet. Not seeing too much excess yet. Here's IB. Test of IB again. No drive through it. It's a big level. It is a big level, that initial balance. It's not Apex, Dean. It's not Apex. All right, there's a Cloudflare issue. It's not Apex. It's TPT as well. It's most websites currently, 20% of all websites you look at currently are not working. No different to when AWS went down a few weeks ago. Yeah, well, definitely. If you get above here, Kevin, yeah, if you do one of these, that's probably a buy, yes. But remember, it's counter trend, right? Main look is down. So anything you take long today is a squeeze. It's nothing more than a squeeze. That's all I'm trying to say to you. You're playing the hardest trade in the book. Here's your initial balance. Through here, we can really get going up to that POC, and then how we act there becomes key. Here's POC. So squeeze through IB. I'm in this long now up to POC. Almost there. 70s. Partial here. All right, I let it reclaim, and then I got long. Really nice. So into POC. Taking partial here. And let's see if we can get going. If we get lucky, let's counter trend. So I took after we reclaimed. If we get very lucky, we go VWAP. We'd have to be very lucky. But we are starting to see that on the tape. The only thing that worries me is there's not that much excess at the lows right now. Here's POC. So battle here. So you'd want a pullback to hold initial balance now if we're actually going to set something more. But again, this is just a counter trend squeeze. They can absolutely shut this door and come back down to lows. They can do that. No problem at all. Beautiful. If we get really lucky, we're going to get up here. Where's this edge? 520s, 540s, 570s. I'm down to tiny size now. So it's long on the breakthrough IB. I want to see it hold this. Failing to hold this, I will cut under 70s. Here we go. If we can get this, we get really lucky. This will be the IB rotation. Look below and fail. Hardest trade in the book here, guys, because we're counter trend. It's annoying. I've had 3 trades today, and they've all been counter trend, but it is what it is. So into this psychological level 500. Come on. Bit of selling here. It's a big squeeze. We can drop right back down. So I'm down to tiny size. It's either gives me something else or it doesn't. It's a nice trade either way. Okay, back into this pocket. It needs to find a base here. If it's going to do any more damage upside, it's got to find a base between here. You don't really want it to come back to IB. You'd want it to protect this level. If we're going to move any further upside, you'd want to see it protect this level. And what we would be targeting is the VWAP because it's the initial balance trade. All right, so far protecting nicely. Psychological number 500. If we break through that, there's a potential bigger move here. Here we go. Come on then, baby. Be careful how much I make here. Nice. Let's go. Looking for this little shelf here into 40s if we can. Some selling here. That's fine. I want to see this hold and squeeze more. I want to be very careful here. Some aggressive selling coming back on the tape. Remember, we're counter trend. Hardest trade in the book. Can't say it enough. It is the hardest trade in the book. We look good. Come on. Break 20s, go 40s, and then VWAP. Big psychological levels. Huge selling coming in on the tape here. We're soaking it well. Here we go. Right, selling more here. Got to be careful. There's a big battle going on here. There's excess at this high. Can we break these 40s and get up to VWAP? I'll move my stop up here. Let me move my stop. There we go. So we need to soak this. Otherwise, I'm out. Let it develop for a second. Yeah, patient pays. That's it. We just trade when the momentum's there. Not when it's not there. We don't guess and go against it. We trade it when it's there. And we pay ourselves, especially when we're counter trend. You have to pay yourself. 20s here. If we can get through this in 40s, then I think we can go up to the 870s. VWAP would be my target here. We can soak that grey box. I'm in all the time. We're above point of control, basically. Fail point of control, I'm out of it. Stop's probably about to get popped here. Here we go. 40's coming, and then we're going to get VWAP, and then Alex is going to be done with it. 40's here. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Come on. Don't you dare fail here. I want to be careful. And in fact, I'm going to move my stop up a bit more, be protective. Come on, I think we can get VWAP. I think we're going to get the IB trade. Want to be careful here. Lots of aggressive buying here on the tape. If we don't move higher, it means there's a passive seller sat in this old imbalance. You can take profit here. Don't be a dick for a tick, okay? Be very careful. Looking for one more squeeze to VWAP. They're front running it here, and there's lots of buying on the tape here, market side. All right, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Just because of what I've seen. It can still do more, but I don't want to be greedy just because of what I've just seen there. Beautiful. Really nice trade. So look how big that was. All we had to do was wait. This is what I was saying, Kevin. Just wait. Wait for the reclaim. 122 points in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. There we go. This is why I'm done with it, because I saw all the buying happen up here above this high and they got caught. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Nice. Anyone catch that with me? I know it's all been counter trend today. It's just because I'm not getting the short setup that I want, unfortunately. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What gave you the go at the IB low? It's a reclaim, right? It's a reclaim of IB low. So if you look under IB low, in that big kill candle, this candle here, right? Within that candle, most of the selling took place from 440 to 400. From 440 or 40 to 400, right? Most of the selling took place in here. Once we reclaimed, they started covering. I started watching it on the tape. So I'm long here for that move. I really wanted to get VWAP because the traditional trade is a look below initial balance and a trade back to VWAP. It might still happen. All right, so I had lots of reasons. Look below and fail, reclaim of IB, held this even better. And the sellers were from 440 to 400. I could see it on the book. I can try and show you here. All right, this here was the strong selling. All right, buyers got stuck, buyers got stuck, buyers got stuck, buyers got stuck, buyers got stuck. So I was waiting because I didn't know if they'd flush this back down. But once we traded here, look what happened. These sellers stopped out. Boom. It's their pain. I'm always using someone's pain. Always, always, always using someone's pain for my move. There you go, VWAP tag. So if I was a bit more patient, would have got it. But like I said, didn't want to be a dick for a tick. So that IB to VWAP trade played out. Alex, how do I know the most of the selling was done? It's just from looking inside the candles, or you can use Bookmap, either or. Like even if we come, yeah, again, it will all be in the new course, but even in Bookmap. Okay, 440 to 400, right? Was that what I said? What was the time there? Just before 11 a.m. here. Okay. Look at this guy here, 400 lot. Average price, 430 or 429. Okay, 400 lot. Right, and look at all the selling which follows. They all follow him in. So if we think about this guy here, that 400 lot, he's massive size, isn't he? So if we think about all this strong selling, right? Look at all this selling. There's your low. That's the end of the auction. That's the last seller. No one's selling under here. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. You're not going to see that necessarily on a candle structure. And then this is this guy stopping out. All right. So this 400 lot right here starts stopping out into the initial balance. And there we go. Squeeze. All right. So everyone who is a seller under IB got squeezed out. Okay. And the reason I sold early, what did I sell? Where did I sell? 11.11 was right up here. So this strong buying, buy, and we didn't move higher off it. We started to pull back. So the moment I saw that transaction, I was like, I'm done with this. I didn't want to sit through a big old pullback there, a 50-point pullback there. Okay, probably done with it now. How long we got left? We've got 45 minutes. I don't know. But we're starting to see a range develop here. All right, remember this range overall is bearish. All right, this is a bearish move and a range. That is a look below the range. If they hold this, bulls will try and look for this. We're not technically above here for this squeeze out. But if bulls hold this, they'll look for that move, or at least to here. We're still below VWAP, which is trending down. Everything is still trending down. I cannot point that enough. This is a liquidity building phase. I just don't want to be short at the lows. Where would I want to be short? I want to be short way up here, and it's not going to let me do that. So fortunately, this is why I played counter trend today. It is what it is. It's just, it is what it is. I can only trade what's in front of me. Yeah, Kevin, I mean, I don't know what you use, but on Tradeify or on NinjaTrader, even if you're sign up with a prop firm, it's all free on there. So on NinjaTrader, what you want to do is go to your here. All right, go to your candle type, which is here. No, it's not there. Where is it? This one? Data series, chart, indicators. Where's my candle? Maybe it's here, data series. Yes. And you want to change this to volumetric. All right, volumetric instead of like a 1 minute volumetric. Normally you'd have candle, and then that will give you, all right, this. Hopefully before Christmas. I haven't got too much more to do. I'll do some more of it today. Bull's still got a chance here, but it's just development of range now. So I would imagine we see more rotation. This will be the rotation in here for a while. Major squeeze relief will be above here, but this will also be where bull traps live in this zone. So you want to be careful. So you see bulls, they just held this part of the shelf. See, we made a new node there. Bulls are defending this. They're trying to force this up. This would be a 2-leg. If you're still long in this, you've got to be selling. If you haven't sold something to view up, definitely to the top of this. Above that, maybe you get a bigger squeeze out. I don't know, but you want to be careful. You cannot guarantee that that's what you're going to get today. We're in range rotation, and the overall sentiment is lower. Battleground here. They're developing another node here into 540, 550. We do have excess above that. So buyers so far got trapped 560 to 570. That's where they've been trapped so far today. Every move into that has been sold into. Doesn't mean it has to continue to be sold into, but on that first push today, that's what we saw. So they're retesting that same level again. There's been a passive seller up here so far this morning. If they can squeeze through this, you might get a move to the grey box above. So VWAP here, if they can, it's a big if you're still long, but if they can squeeze through this, you might get the top of the grey box. But again, you're just in range rotation. VIX is coming back down to the bottom side of its range, so everything's matching up. If you get lucky, you get that move all the way up into this. And above that, well, who knows? Awani, I blew my Apex eval. I was long 10 micros at the 1040 chop. I mean, that's quite a lot of size, 10 micros for range this big. Here you go. So top of the grey box probably coming up here, folks. Or top of the grey box. Grey box here probably coming up. If you get above this is Globex. All right, then this whole thing can be a look below and fail if they start holding and basing above 600. Lots of rotation. Again, fast tape today, guys. It's a really fast tape. So your sizing is so key. Like, what's the ATR? ATR has remained around 40 really since the open. It's remained around 40 as an average since the open. It's a big ATR. So if you're using 10 micros, you're risking what, $800 per 1 minute candle, no matter what. Anyhow, you only need 1 or 2 micros in this. 1 or 2 micros are all you ever need. I mean, if you got long here, that's 100 points. That's $200 off 1 micro, right? So if you're in 10, that's $2,000. If you're the wrong side of that, though, it's $2,000 loss, and you're probably done. Right? So you have to understand what the potential move is in front of you, what size account you're playing, how accurate you are. Exactly, Mr. Slim. 10 points is $200, and we're making 100+ point moves. Exactly. Still think they want to test this Globex up here. Starting to see some relief. Apple green. Just insane. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm super happy. I'm still long Apple from 202s. I'm very impressed. Very impressed with it. And we got left here 40 minutes or so. I think you're into a big range here. All right, this is your range. You want to be careful here that these can be bull trap areas, look above and failed. This is a look below and fail. If they base here, though, you have the ability to come back up and test this New York Open. You cannot bet against that. Like, if they're going to keep doing this, you don't want to get caught trying to short against it. But if they look above and fail back under, especially if they build out considerable amount of volume here and then fail under it, you might get that move back down to there again later in the day. But you just have to see. The range is very, very big. All right, 400 points initial balance. How far out of that did we trade? We're about 450 point range today. Take care, Peter. Yeah, awesome, awesome day. Happy with it. Mainly happy with my funded next account because I took a payout yesterday. So it's always nice to replenish that payout instantly the next day. Here's the squeeze up to Globex. If you're still long in this, this is your TP. You got to pay yourself here. And if you get right up to that New York Open, you are absolutely laughing. But here's your TP into Globex. Okay. Lovely trade off that IB. Really nice. Really, really nice. Anyone still holding? Anyone get that move all the way to Globex? Looks good. You might get a squeeze back to previous week low, which is the green line just above it. Looks really good here, folks. This is a big level. Look left. Huge level. All right, this is a resistance zone. If we reclaim this, we're going to try and drift all the way up here. But I wouldn't be long a new money long here now. You haven't reclaimed it and based above. So you're long from down here or from here. You're not long up here. Not a new position. You're managing a position. Need to pee again. It's like a racehorse this morning with the coffee. Nice. Yeah, if you got any wins with me today, let me know. It's always nice to see who got some of the wins with me today. Starting to get above this level. Make sure you're paying yourself here, please. Would sales on the inside bar on H1 be valid? You mean that bar at 8 a.m. this morning? It's an interesting level. I wouldn't necessarily sell it straight away, but if we can trade up towards it, yes. I mean, there's volume there. This grey box basically is that level. That was your over-under. That's where we chopped around. That's your inside bar, effectively. You're seeing a squeeze here. Short's about to get squeezed out. So your next TP is basically 43s. That's your opening range low, and then all the way up into the New York Open. Let me use the bathroom real quick. Oh, giant squeeze. Huge squeeze. Huge squeeze. All right, lower time frame algo next. Through the weekly. Here's 24-hour VWAP, lower time frame algo. Next stops up into this grey box where we started the session. All right, Google now gone green again. Pay yourself along the way. If you've been long in this counter trend, you must be paying yourself. Made 2,000 long. Nice, Kevin. Nice, Green Otter. Good work. Good work, everyone. Winning. I'm up 1,502 days for the first time ever. Now I'm only 2 trades a day instead of multiple trades. That's awesome, Slow Stroke. Good work. Right, so you're managing this position. Remember, this is a squeeze. It can keep squeezing up, but this is a squeeze. We lack structure at some point. The squeeze will end, the auction will end, and we'll start trading back downside probably. So just manage your position. Do not be chasing this long side, please. And that also doesn't mean you should be slamming this short. But the move has gone. The move was from reclaim of IB or for hold of this shelf, and this is the move. All right, as you know, I sold out in front of VWAP, but this is the full move up, and then you've got New York Open, and I mean, you never know. You just never know. You just never know how far they can go with this. The VIX getting destroyed now. Back down under its New York Open, the VIX. Where are we at on the SPY? SPY's reclaimed 660. QQQ's not reclaimed 600 yet. That's the big level to watch on the Qs. Still squeezing, and still it goes higher. Still it goes higher. The lower time frame algo, this pink line on his chart. Big old squeeze. What a squeeze. It's crazy, isn't it? How quickly the chart moves right now. Once one side's stuck, like I said, it can move very violently. Even in bear markets, trades upside can be very, very violent, like we've talked about numerous times. We lack structure here, though. This is it's trying to hold VWAP now. Is what it's attempting to do. It's going to try and hold VWAP for a move higher into the New York Open, probably, if it can. But, you know, I wouldn't be a new money long up here. The move's gone. Like we talked about, it's done. It's done the move. You're managing your position or your cash like me. This lower time frame algo causing some issues for it. That to this VWAP. Big level here. They're trying to soak it for one more attempt higher. Just watching the tape. They're trying to. They might not be able to, but that's what they're trying to do. Just passed my second funding ticks challenge. All thanks to you, Alex. Now I can get a payout. I will most certainly be looking to do the course out. Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations. You've got to click the buttons. I can just tell you what I'm reading. Some buyers starting to get caught up here. They're trying to squeeze it higher. If too many come piling in here, they're going to get themselves caught at these highs. The bull guy maybe bought the dip. Well, the guy here, very possible. Look at this. Look at this shift from bearish to bullish on the delta. Huge shift. Very possible. I'd say his average price. I think he was around. So he was loading here. He was just passively loading and loading and loading and loading and loading and loading and loading. Once we got back above him, he's comfortable. He's comfortably in the money now, isn't he? He's comfortably in the money. He was no joke, though. I mean, he was so big that POC is now his price. It was no joke. Oh! Remember, you lack structure here. They can flush this very aggressively. So manage your long position here. Make sure you've paid yourself. Make sure you've moved your stop up to somewhere reasonable. If they want to flush this, they absolutely can. It's a giant short squeeze this. So the squeeze started initiating at 420s, and then they re-went from 530s, and 580s. So you're 200, 250 point short squeeze out here. This is a good area where they can trap bulls, honestly, into these kind of areas. It's a good area where they can trap bulls because we're above this pivot. So lots of breakout bulls have come in back in here. If they slam this door, like I said, if they slam this door, this trade becomes available. I don't think I'm going to trade it. I think I'm done. I've got to be happy with how I've made money today, but just be aware. That's all I'm saying. Nice, Priska. Nice, Raf. Great work. They're still soaking VWAP. They want that New York Open and previous day low by the looks of it. They want to get back into this grey box. But like I said, this is a good area. This area is an area where they can trap bulls. The bulls from down here will be looking to complete the rotation to here if they get very lucky up here. Bears will want this area here to do this rotation back down, to trap bulls above this. All right, if they're looking for this, they would want that. That's the battle right now. I wouldn't be new positioning a thing right now. Just let this do what it wants. You got 25 minutes left. Most of you were long off the IB, I think. They look good. We're in golden zone, yeah. I'm sure we are. It's a big old push, but there's still targets both above and below. I'll just let this sort of do whatever it is it's got to do, because it's a very fast moving market, like we've discussed. Just close this door a second. Back to the VWAP. Like I said, this can be a bull trap area up here. It wouldn't surprise me because we're in breakout. So how they act under this grey box becomes important. This shelf here. Still trying to absorb. We can do another grey box now. Starting to build one here. Shelf in here. You can see it developing. Trying to get another squeeze. And you're trying to get up to that open. They want to get up into here if they can. Oh. Big delta at 55s or 50s. Where's he gone? Tape's moving so quick. Yeah, some offside delta at 55. Is X working again now? Oh, it is. Looks like it is. Fantastic. They're trying to complete it. They're trying to complete that rotation. Opening range. Back into the opening range. Back into the New York Open print. This would be, if we get back above this. it would be a look below New York and fail. So far, we're looking below Globex and failing. There's your big W. Any hold of this, they're looking for a bullish rotation back up and a giant short squeeze right now. QQQ still not over that 600 yet, though. That's your big level. Yeah, they're all, most of them down. But X seems to be back up. Let me see if TPT is back up. TPT is back up. Let me see if Apex is back up. Not sure Apex is back up. Can't get Apex at the moment. So TPT seems okay. Maybe they're just the Cloudflare thing, one thing at a time, maybe at the moment. Yeah, I can't get Apex, but TPT seems to be okay. Tradeify is okay. Funded Next is okay. Hopefully they're probably, I'd imagine Apex would probably extend the sale if there's having problems. Okay, so next TP coming up, this grey box up here is your next TP. And then, I mean, my gosh, can they go for IB high? You can't rule it out. You can't rule it out. Right, they're just trying to absorb this grey box to get into this one now. Crazy how quickly that tape flipped. That delta flipped at these lows down here. The biggest delta of the day, right at lower day, sell delta, and then we flipped, and then that was it. Massive battle. It's crazy. The size of these candles is just bonkers to me. It is bonkers to me. Back to VWAP again. How long we got till lunch? 20 minutes. You've got time. They've got time to complete the rotation. 20 minutes here. They're trying to soak VWAP. I would be very cautious here. If you were long, you better have paid yourself. You better have paid yourself if you were long. We're coming back down to previous week low here. This line you can barely see on the screen, but it is there. Let's make this a bit brighter, shall we? Let's make this maybe like that. So trying to see if they can soak previous week low, but you better have paid yourself. Squeeze in again. It's crazy. Tape so quick. VIX trying to find a bounce. So VIX traded all the way back down to previous day high. It's trying to find a bid at New York Open. So VIX, to give you an idea of how fast we've moved, we opened today at 23.75. We pushed all the way up to 25.84. We're back at 23.75. It's still incredibly elevated. We're not in the teens, all right? VIX is dangerous up here, very dangerous up here. You can see this rotation in this grey box now. Move this down a bit. Building out volume here for whatever it is they want to do next. You got to wait for them to leave these areas now. Yeah, make sure you're zooming out. Just look at this H1. We're just trading all the way back into where we've been stuck. Where are you guys? Here. All right, just think about this. All right, this was a breakdown. Bear flag, bear flag, bear flag, bear flag, breakdown. We're coming up to retest this area. Key area, right? If they get through this, maybe a squeeze out is possible. Previous day value area low, who knows? But so far, it's bearish, isn't it? All right, so it's counter trend up. We expect it to be sold into. If they reclaim, we can think about something else. But we expect this move from technical standpoint to be sold into. Is it a look above and fail? It's not. No. What's it looked above and failed? It's not looked above anything and failed. In intraday, we're above Globex. It's look below Globex. If it holds this, it's a look below and fail Globex. It's inside IB. It's potentially rotation, right? Maybe we get this. Maybe we get this. Well, we're inside the rotation at the moment. And previous day low is still up here. So we've reclaimed previous week. How we act at daily levels is important now. I wouldn't say there's much edge here. What should you do now? Just sit still. Sit still. In my opinion, I wouldn't want to be long here. And I don't think there's a short setup yet. You're building volume, right? Building volume after a squeeze. I don't want to be long up here. Remember, we were long here. I don't want to be short here. It's not shown me this or this. I don't think there's anything to do here. It's probably a no trade zone. Probably going to be a no trade zone until lunch, to be honest. Oh. Okay, just a reminder, those interested. I know I've got to get the artwork up. Everything on Flowzone trader.com is on sale currently, 25% off. So if you want to do the course, or you want to do the indicators, we want to buy the indicators, you want the indicators for NinjaTrader or TradingView, everything is 25% off, code BF. It is first come, first served. I will get some social posts out this week with it all. But it is limited numbers for Black Friday, code BF. Those interested in Apex, if it loads up, they have an 80% sale on at the moment with $40 activation fee. Code FCT for that. Okay, they are trying, they're desperate to get back to that New York Open and previous day low. That's what they're trying to do. Trying to force their way up there. Here they go. Big buyer stepping in there. Not moving higher yet. So he got caught there in 700 so far. We haven't moved away from him, but it was a big transaction up there. I'm just waiting. I don't think I'll get another trade today. Like not on mic, but I type out what I'm looking at ahead of time for laid back. And I do voice notes. So like if there's a trade I'm looking at, I will let them know what I'm looking at, the levels I'm looking at, what I'm seeing on the tape. So same as you get here, but normally not necessarily on mic because often I'm on the move. Big battle here in this grey box. No idea my footprint chart on a time frame. Yeah, M1 for me. I wouldn't advise you start with M1 though. But again, I'll go through all of this stuff in the course. But I've been trading a long time, folks, so I can read tape pretty efficiently. But it takes time to train your eyes and your brain of what you're seeing. Oh, man, I'm exhausted. Vic's trying to base out here. We're just hanging out in this grey box at the moment. Mr. Grey box we're just hanging out in. Above previous week low, that green line. VWAP is this is your previous week low. This is your VWAP. This is lower time from algo. This is previous day low. This is New York open. If we start leaving this liquidity, you might get more of a drastic move. But every time we've moved down, they've saved previous week low so far. We are starting to leave or attempt to leave some of that volume above. But again, it's previous week low here, Globex below. Those can still be saved, this green box. The rotation can happen between these two boxes here. It can be like a pullback that holds this. Bulls can defend this and try and go higher. So this can be one of these into here. And then they can try and reclaim this to go higher. If bears defend this, the rotation happens here. If bears defend this, there's a bigger rotation in my mind. So that's why I think the Globex level and that other grey box is a little bit more important for bears if they're going to take control. Otherwise, I think it's still available for a higher squeeze at the moment. There you go, like that. Because they're defending the previous week. So at the moment, I'd say weekly traders are telling us we don't want to move. We want to defend. Bulls are saying we want to defend the weekly level. This level right here. We're not looking to move underneath this level right here. This level right here. We do not want to move underneath this level right here. Didn't know you could do that. That's pretty cool. Did you put a buy order on the IB recap? No, I joined as soon as I saw it, mate. I didn't want to leave it there. I actually had to mark it in because it left so quickly. Hi Alex, are the Ninja Trader indicators included when you buy the course? No, they're an upgrade. If you go on the website and you go and buy the course, it will offer you the upgrade, and you still get 25% off them. Hi Alex, the indicator package automatically marks out the charts. Correct. So initial balance, opening range, Globex, previous day levels, previous week levels, everything all done automatically. Algos, all of that stuff. All right, battleground here. The rotation in this grey box is going to keep going and going and going, like we talk about, until they've got one side stuck. I don't think there's edge at the moment in this market. I don't think there's not edge yet. It will develop. Maybe in lunch, maybe after lunch. What I'd say at the moment, there is significant buyer trapped in this wick up here with size. Yeah, twice. So there's about 200 to 300 lots caught up there so far. At the lows, we have seen some selling into the lows and not move lower. So it's just a range. Buyers caught at the highs, sellers caught at the lows so far. Back to this previous week low again. This is where they defended the last few times and we've squeezed off it. Yeah, Sean, I mean, I don't think I can teach you to read order flow on the next 5 minutes that I'm here, mate. But I will release some content soon on it. Bears trying to leave that volume, but it's very dangerous here with that weekly level, which they keep soaking off the bulls. I don't think bears take control until we're back under this grey box, to be honest. I think this can keep squeezing. I wouldn't be entering long here, but what I'm seeing here is not bearish control, not yet. Yo, let's go. I'm burnt out. Had my first red day in 3 weeks. Went semi tilt. on a break, get the course and dig in. Nice, Otis. Look forward to working with you. Alex, as you are bearish, why do we pay in dollars? I live in America, my friend. I live in Los Angeles. I'm English, but this is where I live. So yeah, it's very early for me. It's 8:52 in the morning still. Nice, Sean. Yeah. Keep turning up, mate. It would get easier. But yeah, I would agree. It's the ultimate edge, but it just takes time. Oh, still trying to defend that previous week low, that green line, that horizontal green line. They're trying to defend that. Bears are trying to defend that grey box above. I just think this will be a wash and chop for a while now. We've had some huge moves in this market today. Huge moves in the market. You would have seen earlier, I was just like, whoa. This is crazy, insane size. Leave it alone for a bit. So it's cooling off now for a minute, which is not necessarily a bad thing, right? Just let it cool off for a minute. Let it make some decisions. Just reading some of the comments from the Fed here. Barkin saying he's worried about exposure to banks to private credit. Housing supply is still constrained. Yeah, because no one's got the money to fucking build them anymore. All right, they're trying to force this squeeze. Bulls just defended that previous week low, that horizontal line. So weekly bulls are trying to defend this horizontal line. They're trying to get a squeeze out to this New York high and previous day low and this grey box. Through that, can't rule out a gap fill. It's absolute madness, I know, but that's the kind of day we're in. You cannot rule out a gap fill. Caught short of 89. I mean, you were in here. I mean, I think bulls are starting to take control of the market right now. So I think you could be in trouble. That's my thought. They would have to defend 700. You have bulls are stuck above 86 on that wick. All right, we do have excess there, but the moment you break that, you're going to get a short covering rally. Was 10k down across all accounts with the morning chop. I worked my up to 2k green. I'm going to get greedy and probably hands off the rest of the day. Yeah, if you were down that much and you've got green, just walk away. Never sit here and continue to trade. Friday, Monday, Tuesday, sat on my hands for explosive moves, only to get wicked out playing reverse counter trend. Can't win them all. Hey, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Yeah, it's tough. Sometimes it can be tough. I really wanted the short. You know, that is the thing for me. I really wanted the short. This wasn't enough for me, this hunt above here. I wanted to get above these players here, and then I would have been interested. Like a little gap fill reversal would have been amazing this morning. But, you know, if we could have done this or even into value, defended this, I would have loved that short. All right, that's an A+ setup for me. But unfortunately, they didn't bring it. More bulls got caught up there again. Don't know who was just asking about that, but all the time they're protecting. Why is this player on the tape stuck? All the time they're protecting 85. You look okay, but the moment they reclaim 85, I'd be very concerned for you guys who are short. It's just a rotation at the moment, but 85 is your level. This looks more bullish to me. I'm going to be honest. It is an area where they can trap bulls, but that 85, they've caught them twice, but You're coming into lunch. I don't know. Who knows, folks? Like, I can only tell you what I see. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what's going to happen. I have no idea. CVD's going up, but no follow through. Yeah, but it's been going up since 10 o'clock. I mean, you had divergence from 10 to 11, right? And then we put in the pivot. I mean, that's why I don't pay too much attention to CVD. I pay more attention to what's happening within each candle. VIX is looking like it wants to bear flag down at the moment. I am starving, man. I'm going to eat. Gonna eat. Oh, sorry, folks. Tired here. Long day. I'm taking Friday off, by the way, team. I might do the morning briefing for you for like 30 minutes, but I've got a flight to catch Friday, so I won't be here to stream with you for long on Friday. Just a heads up for that. Same in Discord. I'll be on a flight, so I'll do my best. Okay, they defended that level again. What did we say it was? 80? Was it 85? What was the high up here? Yeah, they defended 85. That buyer, it's this buyer here. He's stuck above 85. I can see him stuck above 85. They've defended it a few times. The moment that breaks, though, I think you get a squeeze out. So just be aware. I know some of you are short right now. I'm not in a position. I'm cash right now, just waiting. But I don't think I'm gonna take another trade today. I think the A plus is probably gone. And you see how we're starting. We're right back. This is why you've got to be careful underneath daily Bollinger Bands, right? We don't like trading underneath daily Bollinger Bands. We come right back to it. Very rare that you find acceptance below, right? You see we wick below and go up. We wick above. I mean, this did close outside, but most of the time you will not get follow through outside of daily Bollinger Bands. It's very rare. Look at this, like prime example. Big push above, close back inside. The market does not like trading beyond 2 standard deviation. This was the April low. Even at the April low, we didn't move below for long. 3 days. And remember, that is a black swan event with the tariffs. And we still did not like trading below the daily Bollinger Bands. Got to be aware of that. Have to be aware of that. I feel like I could give you guys so much edge in this stream for free, honestly. Alex, I'm officially in the course. Looking forward to learning trading with you. Is there a video on how to load the flow zones into NinjaTrader? Yes, my friend. If you just bought it, if you open the NinjaTrader course up, there should be like a script there that tells you everything. If not a video, might be both. But you have to apply for the download. Once you buy the NinjaTrader script, apply for the download, and then I have to accept you, and then follow the instructions with your machine ID and everything else. Still rejecting in front of 85. Still building so much liquidity out here. If we're here too much longer, you will probably see a POC flip. Let's have a look. It's getting close. It's getting close to flipping point of control up here. Getting close. Being on Quant Tower, do I lose some of the content or can I apply most of them for a twist? Yeah, you can apply most of them on Quant Tower, mate. I don't have a script for Quant Tower, but you can apply all the same thesis onto there. And I can look to build you one if it's helpful for you. Okay, back towards this. Remember, 85s. If you reclaim 85s here, anyone who's short, I think you will get squeezed out. 85 is the level. That is their pain point for the buyers above. If shorts cannot defend 85, I think you will see a squeeze out here. So I'm just trying to make you aware. Be very careful. This is your shelf here. And the squeeze out from here can be nasty because you've been here a considerable amount of time. Same as the drop. If you get the drop, but once we built this much liquidity, remember we've been here from 11 over 30 minutes, 40 minutes. This can get real nasty either way. There's 385. You're going to see the squeeze now, folks. If you were short, you want to cut this. I would not even risk this high because if that gets done, you're toast. It goes very, very quick. Massive battle, but I personally would be done with this. If you were looking for that short rotation back down, you can always add back in. If you stopped out there, you can always add back in when you see what you want. But this is just a nasty rotation and people are going to get hurt. If it crosses 685, yeah, I mean, very potentially comes up to New York Open, right? Very potentially comes up to here. If they've just popped that and failed it underneath here, really got to watch this previous week low. But this level here, bears take more control under this box. I think bulls have... I don't know what to say. I don't think there's a lot of edge here, but I think bulls have the ability to squeeze out here into lunch. That's what I'd be very concerned about. In here, I haven't seen us leave this, reject this, leave this, reject this, looking for that short. That's where I'd be interested in the short. If it leaves aggressively this volume and does this. I'm not into like picking tops, right? We're in a short squeeze. Flow zones are trading upside. We're building volume. We have liquidity above it can aim for. I'm not into trying to trade the top of this range. That's way too risky. I haven't seen us leave this range. So for me, it's not a short. It might develop into a short, but for me at the moment, it's not a short. It's also not a long I'd take. It's a nothing. It's a nothing. I mean, bulls really should have squeezed through 85 there, and they didn't. It's looking kind of gross. How long have we got till lunch? Oh, we're into lunch. I didn't even realize. Well, that explains a few things. Yeah, it's done. Volume will dissipate now, as you can see. Look, volume's dissipating. Unless you get a breakout, the volume's done. We're done. I didn't even realize we're into lunch already. My bad. I had no idea. All right, I'm getting out of here. Time to eat some food. Go for a walk. Get off the screens. Be careful rest of the day. Be very, very careful. This is a nasty, nasty, nasty market. All right, this is what I'm seeing right now. This is your pro trend. This is the breakdown. We have not retested these areas up here, which were locations I'd want to be short. Think about the main trend. This is the main trend. Okay, if a very, very big if bulls are able to defend this, maybe they can come and run some of this. I mean, it'd be really nasty, but if there was a short covering rally, you would see that. If bears can defend this edge here, you can see this rotation back into here, and this can build out here. And if you build liquidity here, there's still room to come lower, but we have excess down there. So you're in a rotational market. There's your IB high, there's your IB low. You are in a rotational market. You are not in a trending market in terms of intraday, all right? You are in a rotational market between IB high and IB low. And it's violent, all right? You're 402 points for your IB. Remember, a normal IB is about 120 points or something. So you're 402 points, and VIX is starting to try and push back upside here. So just be careful if you're going to hang out here the rest of the day. Those in Discord, I'll chat to you in a bit, and we'll see what we get set up for this afternoon. Remember, the main trend is lower, but shorts definitely got caught at those lows today, and you're just gonna have to let this build out its liquidity because it's run a lot of people out of the market both sides. This is your level here. This level here, that's your level where they're going to make the decisions. All right, folks. Big love. Catch you guys tomorrow. Those in Discord, let me go and get a walk and make some food and do all the good stuff. And then we'll see what we can get after lunch if there's something good. All right. Peace and love, all the new students. See you in there soon.